medicine shortages are causing delays in care and treatment across the US, China, and Europe. No one ever believed that the world's top economic power would find itself in a situation where medicine is one of the most troubling problems. 2022 was an unfortunate year for Europe and the United States. The effects of geopolitical conflicts and COVID policies were enormous. It started with a war that has triggered an energy crisis and affected the supply chain.
And right now, many Americans are having some trouble finding high-profile prescription drugs. That includes the antibiotic amoxicillin and the ADHD treatment Adderall. So experts say shortages are common for a variety of reasons. However, this time the shortages are being caused by a significant recent rise in viral illnesses. That's COVID-19, RSV, and the flu. Consumer Healthcare Products Association says drug makers are working non-stop to fill this demand. The FDA says it will also do what it can to help increase production.
And now the effect has spread to a global level of medicine shortages. The World Health Organization also warns of a global shortage of antibiotics and notes a growing number of infectious diseases. Stay to the end, because in this video, we will analyze the reasons for the global shortage of medicines and its effects on our well-being. But before moving on, don't forget to subscribe to Financial Countdown and ring the bell to be notified when new content comes out. According to World Health Organization statements, 80% of the 35 countries for which it collects data are experiencing antibiotic shortages. However, with many countries experiencing their first and restricted winter in 2 years, supply chain constraints are preventing pharmaceutical companies from increasing production volumes.
Tonight, Help Me Hank is tracking a new supply shortage, and it's bad news as we head into the height of cold and flu season.
We're talking about medicine, everything from antibiotics to over-the-counter cold meds.
And it isn't going away anytime soon. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester has been checking out stores all over Metro Detroit. And Hank, you're seeing this becoming a big issue now.
Jason Christie, this is a big problem. We've been at pharmacies all over, from the CVS in Southfield to pharmacies downriver on the east side in the city. As you will see, this is a growing issue.
According to the Financial Times, some pharmaceuticals are reporting shortages of paracetamol and ibuprofen as demand rises due to the winter wave of influenza, respiratory viruses, and coronaviruses. Pharmacies around the world, especially in China and European countries, are running out of key medicines such as paracetamol, ibuprofen, and amoxicillin. Antibiotic shortages have reached a critical level.
A monster some say China have created, and a monster that is now humiliating its alleged creator. And I use that word with caution, humiliating. Because the Wuhan virus has created a shortage of medicines in China, and I'm not saying this, China's own state media is. Look at this headline. The Global Times carried it 2 days back. It says Chinese pharmaceutical firms are operating at their full capacity to address cold medicine shortage. Yes, forget vaccines, forget COVID-19 pills. China doesn't even have the basic medicines for a common cold.
According to pharmacies in the UK, France, Germany, and Spain, some pharmacies report that their patients have had to resort to psychological therapy as an alternative solution to some medicines. In United States, the medicine shortage is putting extra pressure on hospitals and their emergency rooms. The problem with the current antibiotic and medicine shortage is that it could affect the welfare of the patients. Amoxicillin, for example, is used to treat infections, and Europe is experiencing a significant shortage of amoxicillin and penicillin.
Here at the Walgreens in the city of Wayne, take a look. You can see that there are still cold and flu items available, some in short supply, but look down here, the cough syrup, well, this has all been cleaned out.
Here at the Rite Aid in Midtown, empty store shelves where we would normally find cold medications for children and infants. Low supply also at the CVS in East Point, and the same story at the Rite Aid in Grosse Pointe Park. In Garden City inside this Walgreens, a low supply of cough syrup. And here at the CVS in Livonia, they were short on kids' cold and flu medications.
According to market experts, one of the reasons for this significant shortage is the current economic changes. That includes inflation, the energy crisis, and supply chain shortages. Increasing prices and higher energy costs led the average consumer to buy and stack antibiotic drugs for the winter. Higher consumer product prices have affected consumer purchasing abilities, which was one of the factors that led us to this dangerous situation.
Medicines like ibuprofen and Panadol, they're all running short on supplies. Why? Because Chinese citizens are hoarding them. Millions of them are desperate to get their hands on antiviral drugs as COVID infections in the country outpace the existing supplies. Naturally, this has caught China's hospitals, clinics, and pharmacies completely off guard. You see, they were unprepared for the onslaught of demand and gave little to no notice about stockpiling them. There was no heads up, no preparation. Their shelves have now gone empty.
In addition, China and India account for 60% of the world's drug supply, and both countries are being sanctioned by the United States in relation to pharmaceuticals. The COVID outbreak in China and the zero-COVID policy were the final nails in the coffin of this drug shortage. That said, what makes the current medicine and antibiotic shortage a serious problem is its long-term effects. Doctors warn that while the antibiotic units are running low, hospitals and emergency rooms will notice a significant increase in patient numbers. On top of that, there are new antibiotics and drugs in the development process, but they will not be on the market soon, at least not in the next 2 years or more. More broadly, theoretically speaking, if a patient can't or doesn't get what they need, the infection's accumulation might lead to the appearance of more severe infections. And still, the scary part is that some infections, if they are not treated properly and at the right time, will develop into something untreatable and infectious. That is what government fear and try to avoid. There has been no improvement, no clear strategy, and no satisfying action on the part of the government up to this point. The world is already in a chaotic situation. By adding a medical shortage to the unsolved list of problems, the market outlook remains gloomy. Your opinion is very important to us. You can leave it in the comment box below this video. Thanks for watching.